Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to hear me in the marketplace today. You may have seen me before here in the SheEO district. I am a senior leader and the director of SheEO Cares here within the district. But first and foremost, I'm a woman and I own a business. And so I was here last week to talk about the Morning Do, which is my coaching business. But today I'm here to talk about my book. And this is my book that I wrote with 25 phenomenal women in an anthology called I Am a Woman Empowered: Stories of Strength, Resiliency, and Triumphs. And let me just say that this book has changed me. Not only the stories of other people, but writing a book. I don't think you're ever the same after you write a book because you kind of relive the experiences, but more in a healthy way. So it's not like reliving the trauma and the pain of your past, but you're reliving it to pull out the truths. You're reliving it to pull out the purpose. You're reliving it to pull out the passion and how God really kept you and how you made it on the other side. A lot of people, when we share our testimonies, they want to know how you made it. Well, it's not as easy to say. It's easy to say, oh, well, God carried me through. But when you begin to comb through your story with a fine-tooth comb, then you'll begin to realize, like, hey, there were some key moments in my life, some key things that happened that really shifted. And so the blanket statement of God did it goes deeper and niches down to, well, God saved me. God prepared me. God said no so that I could say yes to myself. There's so many different ways that you can see God in your story when you begin to write your own story. So in this book, I'm a Woman Empowered. I wrote about, well, first of all, my chapter was called Acceptance is Your Superpower. And let's just stop right there and talk about that. Listen, acceptance is your superpower. When you begin to accept and embrace where you're at, not just where you want to go and not where you used to be, but where you are right now in the power play that's in being in the present and being in the very moment that you're in. It's a really powerful thing. And so in my chapter of this anthology, I Am a Woman Empowered, I talk about one of the darkest times in my life, which was experiencing homelessness. So yes, you've known me as a pastor, as a minister, as a leader, as a business owner. Some of you guys have came to my conference that I hosted with my very good friend and business partner, Angela Lewis, last week, called WifeCon. And God has done some amazing things through me, but just a very short few years ago, I was homeless, like a whole homeless woman, nowhere to live with my children and my husband. And it was just one bad situation after another bad situation, after another bad situation, after mismanagement of money, after losing of jobs and laying off, after deaths in the family that just led us to that point. And we could not get ourselves out. And I was still actively on staff at a church. I was still actively, a community leader. But I was disenfranchised and there was nothing that I could do to get myself out. And it was in that moment that I had to accept where I was, that I had hit rock bottom. See, we always want to soar. We want to grow. We want to conquer. But you cannot conquer what you will not confront. I'll say it again. You cannot conquer what you refuse to confront. And there were some things I had to look boldly in the face. A very wise woman said to me, Piangela, you don't cry over spilled milk. But this is what I would like for you to do. I want you to begin to ask yourself, why did the milk spill? See, these are all key phrases to help you understand your acceptance of where you are. Acceptance of where you are, who God created you to be, why you are at the very tumultuous place that you're at right now is very important in developing your prosperous future. See, I was always going to be Coach P. Angela Jones, accredited and certified. I was always going to be a multi-owner of several different businesses. I was always going to be the author of I Am a Woman in Power. But before I could get to her, before I can get to that P. Angela, Coach PJ, I had to look myself in the mirror and say, listen, P. Angela, there's some things that you've gone through that you need to deal with. Yes, you were raped at 18 years old and you hid it from the whole entire world. You got to deal with that. Yes, you had 3 children out of wedlock and none of their fathers are in their lives. Yeah, you got to deal with that. Yes, there are some things. Yes, you dropped out of college before you finished and you need to go back and you need to look yourself in the mirror and talk about that. There were some things that had nothing to do with homelessness that had something to do with my homelessness because I refused to accept the pain, refused to accept the problems, refused to accept what was really going on in my life. And so it was a joy writing this book, but it was painful as well because I had to look myself in the face again and say, listen, now it's time to tell your story. Now it's time to share it with the world. But guess what? I have a very super supportive husband that said, P. Angela, if you ever get the confidence to tell your story, baby girl, you're going to be a bad shut your mouth. And I was like, what? I tell my story. He's like, no, tell your story. So I'm here to encourage you not only to purchase my book, please, I would love you to support me and purchase my book because this is a part of me healing. This is a part of me growing and it's a part of you healing and it's a part of you growing. But let me encourage you in this moment. Also, I want you to tell your story. Get comfortable with your story. Get comfortable with your pain. Get comfortable with your trauma. Get comfortable with the things that almost killed you because sis, it almost killed you. It didn't. And that's my superpower, baby. When I came to realize that all these things had happened to me, but I was still here. Okay, God, well, what's next? What's on the list? What can we do? What can we partner together and do to make my life become what it's been destined to become? I was always trying to be great, but I couldn't get there until I accepted all of me. See, we're not just Instagram highlight reels. In real life, you are your shortcomings. You are your failures. You are your mishaps, but you're also your overcoming. You're also your successes. You're also the time that you decide that you're not going to take no for an answer and you're going to persevere and push. So listen, my time is almost up. I would love you to purchase my book. You can go to IamAWomanEmpowered.com. Look for my face, this face right here. Click on it and purchase it directly from the publisher. But I would love it if you would reach me at themorningdo.org because when you purchase the book directly from me, I give you a really awesome, unique, custom-made swag bag as well as an autographed copy of my book. So please go over to my website, themorningdo.org, subscribe, and hit the little chat button, and you'll be able to reach me, and I will be able to get you your autographed copy of my book, my story, I Am a Woman Empowered. Thank you so much. God bless you guys, and enjoy the rest of your day. Tell your story.